everyone, guess what? Today we are going to take you through the process of making a block method shield, and it's really lovely. So my name is Christine, and today I'm going to be your facilitator. So step number one, you cut out the fabric, and before you start making your block method, you have to make sure it doesn't have these wrinkles on it, because you are not going to get a nice product. So you'll take your iron and make sure you iron it out so it gives you the best quality that you want. So step two, now that you have ironed your, you can see it's already ironed, it's nice, and it is really good. So after ironing, you go to step three. So step three is now where you have everything, like you have your shell, your pockets, they are ready, and you check the measurements. So you can see it is 2.5 by 4.5, and then you have your PV, because this is what is going to give you direction on the block method. And then now we have this, it's already ironed, so you get the center of your block method, and then you notch, and then you notch on the other side like this, and you make sure it is 9 by 10. So we have it there. So now step four, you put your things together. You make sure you have your pockets, you make sure you have these two fabric, and then you have your PV, and on the other side, and you have your pins. Make sure your pins are putting there on the top end. Don't put your pins in the middle, because you can make a hole. So this is our fourth step, that will go to the sewing. This is what will go to the sewing. So step 5, now we are ready to proceed with the sewing.
So you sew an egg.
So now that it has been sewn, now you can see I need to trim it out. So I'll trim it out nicely like that, and then when I finish trimming it, so this is how it's going to look like. It has already been trimmed. Now that it has already been trimmed, I'll have to turn it outside slowly, making sure that I have everything right. So so now I'm turning it out. So when I turn it out, this is how it's going to look like, because now it has been turned out like that. So I'll take my tape measure again to check if my measurements are still intact. So I still have 2.5 on the pocket, and so they are good. They are good to go. So step 9, now I'll sew a quarter like that, and I'll sew on the side that is flowered, so it looks really nice. So now after sewing this, I'll turn it upside down like this on the plain side, this way. So now I have already turned it. I've turned it. You can see everything is just perfect, but we have not sewn yet. So now that I've turned it and it's really good, I'll check my measurements again. Yeah, it's really nice. It's ready to go. It's 2.25. Before I start sewing, I have to start it from this corner, and I have to do a back stitch to make it very strong. So I'll make sure I do the back stitch around the pocket to make sure it is really, really, really nice. So I'll come to step 10 here, because now I want it very quality. So here is where I take my template, I put it there, and I make sure everything is good, and then I take my pin, and then I press it there. I'll press it nicely, and then I'll mark it with a piece of chalk, so that I get where I put my buttons, my snaps. So now that I have it, you can see the universal. There's one that goes on the other side, there's one that goes on the other side. So it's ready, and it has been already sewn. You can see the stitches. They are very nicely made, and you can see you have to check the back stitch, because that is what we are going to check. The back stitch are nice, and everything is nice. So it's ready for snapping. So now my shield has been snapped. It's good. You can see it is really beautiful. So now I'll take my template and check it out. It doesn't have to strain to get in. It has to be really good. So this is where I'll put my snap, and then you can check from here to here. It has to be 5. And then you can check with the arrows. From that arrow to that arrow, it has to be 5. So this is where I take my tape measure, 7 3/4, and you have to be friends with the tape measure. Like, you have to be friends with the tape measure every time. So my shield is supposed to be 9 1/2. It is really good. The wings has to be 7 3/4. It's really good. It's really good. So you can see everything is just perfect. So make sure you are friends with the tape measure. Make sure the colors are hiding. Make sure it is lovely, because these girls need to be lovely. Thank you so much. You can check out our YouTube, and please make sure you subscribe and you like our page on Facebook. Thank you.